Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. I just did half a run through of my 5 on Friday before I noticed I wasn't taping. So this is Friday. I'm Melinda, by the way. I don't know if I ever said that. And I'm doing 5 on Friday, which is a little something invented by Suey over at Suey's Book Banner. And what we do is on Friday, we do sort of a quick fire collection of 5 book recommendations on a certain theme. We do not coordinate our themes, so we'll have different themes today, and I will link to her channel and her video for today, which is 5 ghastly ghost books. I have it up right here. I'm going to do something different, and my challenge to myself is to do this in 5 minutes or less, even though you have noises of the cat over there eating because she's very loud. No editing. I'm going to set my timer. Oh, wait, I need to reset my timer because I messed up. I'm going to set my timer and I'm just going to go and see if I can do this in 5 minutes. So let's see. Start. Okay, today I'm talking about what I consider 5 quintessential works of American literature. American literature is wonderful. I love American literature. I love literature from all over the world, but American literature is, like literature from any country, very unique. And so if someone came to me and said, I've never read any American literature and I want 5 books to tell me what it's like, these sort of are 5 books that I would recommend. And I have them kind of ordered into growing order of quintessential list, but the first one's kind of a weird exception. So let me start. The first one is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This is kind of a weird exception because this is really a placeholder for all of John Steinbeck. I've only actually read 2 books by John Steinbeck. This one and Travels with Charlie, which is nonfiction. It's about him traveling around the country. Totally would recommend it. Fantastic. Wonderful on audio. This is a retelling of the story of Cain and Abel set in early 20th century California. I read this earlier this year. Absolutely loved it. Despite its size, it is very readable. However, as I said, I've only read one. This is the only novel by John Steinbeck I've read so far. So if you would ask me the same question a year later, I might have a different John Steinbeck book. So this one's just a placeholder for all of Steinbeck. And it's not really included in the ranking so far because of that. Next one, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So this is actually 2 books, but we sort of see it as one now, and is written by Louisa May Alcott for money. She really wanted to write sensationalist, basically what the version of the time was porn. But her editor said, why didn't you make some money and write something for kids? So she wrote this novel, which is a thinly veiled account of her own family. In this book, we follow the March sisters. There are 4 of them. The oldest is Meg, who's very sensible. The second oldest, who is the main character, is Jo, who's sort of exuberant and has a lot of spirit and really wants to live her life to the fullest. And then we have Beth. There'll be a video coming out on Tuesday where Beth plays a part. And then we have Amy, who is the young, precocious one. I love this book. I was afraid I couldn't find my copy because I had loaned it to my daughter at one point, and I was afraid it was still in her room, which means it would be lost forever. But I did have it on my shelves. Highly recommend Little Women. The next book. This is a book that'll make my friend Karen's blood boil because she hates this book, but I love it. And that is The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. This is a book about American excess and greed and obsession and totally American things. Like, we totally deal with that. It's a very short book. It's easy to read. It's kind of haunting in that it kind of predates a very major thing that happens in American society, only like 4 or 5 years after it was published. I won't tell you what it is because it's kind of a spoiler, but whatever. Highly recommend. A lot of fun. If you've never read Fitzgerald, this is a good place to start. Okay, the next 2. This next one, most people would probably put number 1, but I'm putting it for number 2 for reasons that I will explain later. And that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, a wonderful story about a young girl in mid-20th century, Alabama. Her father's a single parent. It's her and her brother and her father. Her father's a lawyer, and he is tasked with defending African-American man who's been charged with rape. The story covers a lot of different topics. It is just a classic. I never read this in school for some bizarre reason, but I did read it on my own. Absolutely love it. Do not say anything bad about To Kill a Mockingbird. Do not read To Go Set a Watchman. It is not a sequel to this book. It was a first draft of this book. If you've read that book, it's clear why it's a first draft and it wasn't what was published. So, To Kill a Mockingbird is number 2. Now, number 1 will also make my friend Karen's blood boil because she also hates this book. But I love this book. And if you've been with me this past summer, you know how much I love this book. And that is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This book is about a woman who something, if you don't know, I'm going to be vague. She is in a position that is not accepted by society, and she is forced to wear her shame publicly, while others who share in that shame hold theirs privately. And there's a lot of ways you can interpret this book. My favorite ways to interpret it is as a horror novel, because it works really well as a horror novel. If you've never read it, my advice is skip the Customs House, which is this weird sort of introduction that has nothing to do with anything, and do it on audio if you've never read it. Nathaniel Hawthorne does tend to be a little wordy. And frankly, I know most people are going to put To Kill a Watchman, or To Kill a Mockingbird. See what I mean? No editing. To Kill a Mockingbird before this one, and I totally get it, but I just love this book. So this is why I put it as number 1. So there it is with 16 seconds to spare. I did it. Those are my, as of today, 4-ish plus John Steinbeck recommendations for quintessential American literature. And stop. I did it with 5 seconds to spare. Okay, I'm not going to edit this video at all. And oh, shut up, watch. The Siri was talking to me for some reason. Anyway, thank you for hanging with me for this like thing that I just did, the sprint. Let me know your feelings, because I think this is, everyone who reads American literature is going to have a different top 5 list, and I would love to know what yours are. Because I just would love to know. So please comment down below. And if you can't think of anything to comment with, give me a little flag of the nation you are from. I don't know, coming up with something if you can't think, or whatever, just say hi. Feel free to join my Discord. Information is down below. We have lots of conversations there, or at least I hope we have. We're just starting up. So the information is down below. Subscribe, like, all that jazz. And I am going to stop this now and get a drink of water. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.